Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Three Chicks in a Pod. Chicks and salsa, you name it, we got it. Four chicks, so that's what it is tonight. How are you ladies tonight?
Doing well.
Doing well. How about you?
I can't complain.
Good.
Gary.
Carrie.
Sorry, I was looking up my story because it wouldn't open the right link. I was doing my due diligence. Sorry. I'm doing good. The sun's shining and it's not bitter cold, so it's a double win.
See, and it's raining here, but we need the rain desperately.
I was gonna say, have you guys ever recovered from your drought, or is we still working on?
No,
Yeah.
it's still.
But Candy's almost at the point where she'll be wearing her sunglasses at night.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right, Corey Helm.
Yeah.
Lot of crazy.
I do not have the money he had when he passed away. Thank you.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
However, we do take all sponsors. Just hit us up. And while we're at it, as you're watching us, please go ahead and link to our YouTube page, because not only do you have us wonderful ladies, we also have a lot of entertainment, other sports that we don't get to show up here all the time. And like my days, different events that I've gone to, some events that Dawn's gone to, Carrie and Megan, and Candy won't share hers, but you can check hers out at South Florida Tribune. So,
Now.
Oh no.
so Candy,
Yes, Jen.
how excited are you?
About?
Big Ten?
Oh my gosh, so excited, so happy. Like, for the longest time, Big Ten really doesn't get the respect that I think they deserve. ACC is always above them, or SEC, depending on what we're talking about. And so I don't think they get a lot of respect. And yes, I get they have blue blood like Ohio State and Michigan in there. Don't get me wrong. But I literally, before we went on the show, and I didn't even tell you guys, that in the last 12 months, the Big Ten have 9 national championships.
Oh,
Nine.
yeah.
Like, it's no joke. And like, if you think about it, yes, Michigan won last night, did a great job. UCLA women, they won, did a great job. But there's a Frozen Four that's going to be played later this week. Actually, they go down to 2. So on Thursday night, and there's 2 Big Ten representation in there. The Wisconsin Badgers are taking on North Dakota, and Michigan is taking on Denver. So there's a chance we'd have another. It could be an all Big Ten final, or it could be a no Big Ten final, or it could be one. So we'll see in men's Frozen Four.
Okay.
I have to say that the men's championship game was very entertaining.
It was a good game. I mean, yes,
it was a good game.
Michigan was ahead by a little. I mean, what, 9, 10, 11 points sometimes. But, UConn kept crawling back in there. And it was, I mean, UConn didn't lead, but they hung in there and they played their hearts out. It was a good game.
Unfortunately, the women's was not as close, wasn't even as entertaining.
It was nowhere near.
And that was a little disappointing. I think that there was a lot of extra that went into that. I feel like there was some hangover from the semifinals, personally.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely was. I think it was a lot hangover from that.
So, I mean,
well, the UCLA coach also took a lot of time, and hats off to her, because she took a lot of time to really research what went wrong, not just the good last season when they were still in the Final Four, but what went wrong and how they could fix it. And really took that time. Like Candy mentioned this before. And hi, Roy. And I really, hats off to her. And, hats off to all of the coaches that got into the Final Four. I mean, I know we're going to talk about Gino and, honestly, and all the women's Final Four, the officiating was, as Megan stated, it was very elementary, very kindergarten mistakes. So what I also read is what somebody else said at a take was that he hid behind that because he didn't want to admit how outcoached he got. Like
Correct.
Don Staley as that coach. Then Don Staley, I guess, and Carrie, to your point, this is where it was, she did have the hangover. Like, I think she let all the extras get into her head when they went up
Like,
against UCLA.
and also, I feel like because it was when the team was supposed to be, the congratulations was supposed to be happening and all of that. The team was involved in this upfront, close and personal. This was happening, rolling or coming to fruition right in front of their eyes. So
It overshadowed their win.
correct. It overshadowed win, and then
It
I think
really
it kind of
did.
just created a hangover type effect that they didn't overcome. And
Oh, sure.
And because it went on for several days, they didn't
Yes.
get a break. So had
right.
it been maybe like now a week later, it would have been easier to kind of get past it. But it was only a few days. So, and
And
it was constant 24/7, people discussing it, people feeling like he needed to apologize. And then when he did apologize, the way he apologized, it was
He was
criticism
not
on
an apology.
no. And
it was Chat
so
GPT. Let's all be real about that.
yeah, and I mean, so because of that, it's like it just put a cloud over it. But I mean, nobody can deny Don Staley she's that girl. She is
Yeah, she is totally that
great
coach.
she is a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like that NCAA needs to address this because this is not the first female coach that he has treated
Poorly.
unkindly. And so it needs to be addressed, period. Because I mean, we all have to remember that's their workplace. And he's being disrespectful in the workplace.
So
We
here's
see it
where
as a
In all
game, but it's the
honesty, like he
workplace.
was still really rude to Coach Leggett Jack of Syracuse
Mhm.
because if like Dawn, you'll get to meet her when we go to tip off in October, okay?
Mm.
Um, and I do want to message her to see if she can come on the show sometime this summer. Like I'll message Olivia, but she straight up, you feel God's presence out of her. True
Mm.
story, you do. And so for her to speak like she did a couple of weeks ago, and I said this then, like, we have a friend of the show who I saw a comment he made, and he was like, we'll win more games. No, no, no. You don't understand how far she's brought this team because
Oh
they're
yeah.
still rebounding from a really horrible abuse situation with their previous women's coach. Like, really? Like,
but if
she's
you
brought
I
this
want
team up. So for her to come out against Gino again, also, and having to play UConn all the time, she's not wrong.
I
And I
also
mean,
think
she's
that you're
out
looking
coached
at
him.
look at the age of Gino
Mm-hmm.
and think of the time frame that he grew up in, that he's been supported, that he gained his recognition in, and how the times have changed. And I will be very, watching I'm gonna kind of take this a little sideways. Watching my dad, who was around the same age as Gino, it was very hard for him to start changing mindsets, right? So changing mindsets and how you view things, right or wrong, it's really hard the older that you get, right? So it is I wonder how much of a generational, how we're watching a generational thing happen there too. Because I'm like, does
But see,
that
then I
line?
look at my
Well, hold
dad,
on. Here's the
and I
thing,
don't
though.
find that a reasonable excuse because my dad is
I'm
probably the best girl dad ever, and he has never treated
no, I'm
man
not
or
saying.
woman differently.
I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm saying that was, and my dad wasn't like this, right? But
Right.
also not really wanting to change. There's some things that he was like, no, that's not really how I want to be, and that, and obviously you get that right to say. But if you look across everything, across our natural life right now, work, home, whatever, generational instances are showing up larger than life, especially in, let's be honest, the WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant sector of men, right? So we have very strong feelings and how they were raised, and that's not necessarily how our society works anymore. And
Here, let me ask you this, because he was disrespectful to a woman, right?
Mhm.
Just point blank. We all know he was disrespectful. He coaches a women's basketball team. Those are adult women, and he's coaching those women. So if he will talk to a coach like that, I have to wonder, how does he talk to those players
I've
when he
wondered
Exactly.
the
gets
same thing,
upset?
Dawn.
When he gets upset. And race aside of this, but let's just be honest. The majority of the players that go to UConn look like me that play for him.
Well,
So the
honestly, that's in the majority of women's hoops too.
correct. So, but for him, he's coaching these women. So now I have to wonder, when you're coaching women, what are you saying to them if they have a bad day and they upset you, or they're not playing the way you want it? Like, how are you talking to them? So now I have to wonder about that. Are
Correct.
you, are you being threatening, I mean, because we also have to remember these young girls are on scholarship a lot of times. So are they just, going, okay, just I won't say anything because I don't want to lose my scholarship if I say something. Like, let's be honest, it's more than just him being disrespectful to Coach Staley. This is far beyond that, because this is not the first time, like I said, that he's been disrespectful to a woman in that space.
And
Right.
it's interesting to watch who supports and say it really wasn't that big of a deal and who hasn't. To me, it
So
goes
my question is, would he have been as disrespectful to Coach Schaefer?
I've never seen, this is me
He's the head
personally,
coach of the women's basketball team with Texas.
never seen him be disrespectful to a male coach. I've only seen him be disrespectful to a female coach.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it hasn't happened. I've just never seen it.
right.
Right.
So I do want to share what Dawn Staley, her statement on this that's been released, I believe today.
Mhm.
Uh, and I think that honestly, I'm going to approach this. So after we finish with our show today, I'm done with this conversation, and my because I like how she's put this. With the college women's basketball season behind us, it is time to move forward and close a chapter on how our semifinal game with UConn ended. I spoke with Gino, and I want to be clear. I have a great deal of respect for him and what he's meant to this game. One moment doesn't define a career, and it doesn't change the impact he had on growing women's basketball. The standard at UConn is what it is because of him, and that's something the game has benefited from. So I'm asking everyone to turn the page. Let's refocus on what matters most, continuing to elevate our game, creating opportunities, and pushing it forward. That's always been my mission, and it's not changing. Now, I don't think that we should let go in the fact that we need to make sure that those women players are being protected and are being taken care of. But
Mhm.
we're not going to hear anything from Gino again.
No, we're not.
But here's
And it does need to die down.
Here'd be one of my rebuttals to some of that. If any of the women on his team don't like the way he coaches or treats them, The transfer portal is open and they're free to leave. And let me tell you, we saw Dawn is willing to take anybody that she, I mean, any of these top
Yeah.
programs would take any of them. So I think that speaks volumes if he keeps his girls from year to year to year. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. I don't agree with how he handled himself over all of this. But I also like the way Dawn took the high road and said, you know what? Gino
Yes.
did build that program. The reason why UConn women are relevant is because of what he's done there, and he's done it over many, many, many years.
Correct.
He has.
Oh, she definitely took the high road. She
Mhm.
definitely, she definitely took the high road.
And I honestly think that that resonates with us a lot simply because I find, especially with all of us, that while we may be frustrated, we tend to take the high road anyway.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's just always the way that I want. I don't know if it was the way I was raised or how that is, but I tend to try to take a high road. And I know you ladies do too. So that's why it probably resonates with us the most.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think the true tell.
And into Candy's statement that the transfer portal, University of Tennessee has 0 returning players,
I saw
women's
that.
basketball. So what is that saying?
And Georgia and UVA are losing almost all of their players
Well,
because they got rid of their coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm just going to say this, having met Coach Mox, and I have a very hard time. She was coached by Coach Lejette Jack of Syracuse. She was one of her assistant basketball coaches. So like she's a mentee of Coach Jack. And you can feel God's presence with her too.
what is
When that was
interesting though,
announced that she was let go because of how she treated some of the staff, that surprised me. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, I'm
don't buy
having a
it.
hard time. I'm wondering what exactly we're going to find out down the road because it's an ongoing investigation. But that was a really quick exit, and that's
Very quick because she took them back to the Sweet 16 for the first time in 10 years?
it'll be interesting to see what comes
And
from that.
her players that came to tip up love her. I don't mean they like her. I mean, they loved her. So wherever she lands, as long as the portal is still open, I highly suspect we'll see a lot of UVA players there.
Probably. Let's just be honest. If you are appreciative of what a coach does, and your coach moves, we see that happen a lot. The transfer portal does make it a little bit easier, I think, now than it did to an extent, where it's more out in the open what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, there's just been a lot of moving and shaking. I think a lot of the Georgia players have announced that they'll be entering the portal. And then UNC had their hire today, intro, which surprised me because the only tie is that Coach Marone's daughter plays volleyball at UNC. Thank you, best friend James Schatz, for letting me know that because I didn't know what the tie was. But I am very surprised there is no tie to the UNC coaching tree. So, but that'll be interesting.
So that's one that I'm kind of curious to see how it'll play out.
Me too, because he hasn't coached college ball since like 1990, maybe 80.
It'll be
No,
interesting.
1990.
It'll be interesting. But
Yeah.
I kind of like the fact that it's somebody different. So, that's just me.
We will see.
I did see an interesting that kind of tied into this, an interesting comment, and it's kind of been ruminating in my brain all day is why don't, with the transfer portal, would it make a difference if they're either the school or the student had to pay a fee to transfer? And if that would,
Oh,
You gonna really ask college students to pay a fee to transfer like
I'm
that?
just, it'd be one way to keep a lot of hopscotching, I would think. I don't know. I haven't decided one way or the other. It's just been sitting there thinking. I've been thinking about that and how that would play out.
did that new law literally go into effect? That new EO for NIL? I need to research that because I thought there were more important things going on in this world than
One would think.
people getting into college sports.
One would think.
I mean,
But I
my
will say
thing
this.
is no,
If
I don't
University
think
of
we should
South
do it.
Carolina is forced to join the ACC, they're going to be mad because they were kicked out of the ACC.
Oh no, the trend having students pay is just. I mean, then what do you do? The student who can't pay, you penalize them because they can't and they want to move.
No, the conversation was having the schools buyout,
Mm,
but it
No, that's
still
way too much big business. And honestly, we're already in too much
yeah,
big
that's
business at a college
way too
level.
much.
And
I'm just saying
That's
honestly,
that
too
I
was
feel
much.
like we don't need NIL money at the high school level. These kids don't need to be making millions of dollars in high school. I'm sorry. And it's not me being jealous. It's me literally looking at, like, I feel like it wasn't that long ago, but there was a big hoopla, like where Antoine Jameson went to school here in Charlotte. And if y'all don't know, Antoine Jameson was touted to be like the next Michael Jordan. And he is still working with the NBA. He had quite the illustrious career. He helped lead Carolina to several championships, blah, blah, blah. But because his grandmother lived in the Providence district, he moved in with his grandmother, and some people really felt bad, like felt some sort of way about that. But he was legit living with his grandma. And that was back in the 90s. And we're no, just no. Like
I do like
NIL.
the fact that NIL has and the transfer portal has made, and I think we saw it best with the men's basketball, but there's a lot of parity across.
Mhm.
Like talent isn't only in one spot anymore.
Yeah,
True.
And
True.
for that,
It's
I
spread
think that
out.
grows all sports and
that
all
is true.
with college. So for that, I appreciate that. It was happening anyway at some colleges. We know this, and we know this that now it's taken away their advantage simply because they are not staying on top of the pile all the time. And we're looking at you, SEC. I mean, let's just be real.
Right. Alabama. Yes, Don, we know you're a Bama fan. It's okay.
Hey,
It's okay. You're with
Georgia,
me now, honey.
I'm looking at you, Georgia. I'm looking at you, Alabama.
It's okay. I like
hey,
Georgia.
hey. Wait, but you gotta remember, I'm still a Jayhawk. I am a
I know
Bama
you're a
fan, but I
Jayhawk. I
am a
have no issue
Jayhawk.
with that. It's okay.
So,
I'll get you away from the Bama side.
and
No,
where would I
I
go?
like that
Where would I go?
there's more parity across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, let's face it, the NC2A was making a lot of money
Uh-huh.
on these students, and they
They
weren't
were
getting,
Yeah.
for the most
correct.
part, it wasn't getting spread out, and more of them now can get paid, which is, I mean,
And which allows kids to pay for their parents to come to games.
It
And
allows
that's
a
what
lot of
Coach Schreier
things.
pointed out to me too, of Duke, because I asked him what he thought about it, like in my first ever conversation with him. And he was like, honestly, I think it's a great thing. Some of these kids come from very, poor neighborhoods, and they now get to pay for their parents to come watch them play, whereas before they couldn't. And it was like,
Not
you know
only
what?
that, they can pay for things that they need, just daily,
Yeah.
weekly, actual things. They don't have to be trying to figure out how to just buy the necessities.
Right.
So, or, their parents who are at a disadvantage trying to assist them at school, because they can't get money, they can't
Hmm.
get this. They had all the regulations. When I was in college, they had all the regulations of all the things they could not get and where they could get it from. So this opens it up. And I mean, to me, it's them like having a part time job,
Yeah.
having another, and actually, it's more than a part time job because they're practicing almost every day and they're traveling. So it's like having a full time job and going to college full time. So
Hmm.
I see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. And who didn't have a job in college? Pretty sure all of
Well,
us did.
no.
All right, highfalutin. All right. My bad. I did.
I mean, I started and stopped college 3 times. And by the third time, not only did I have a job, I had an infant. So, because who doesn't want to take 18 to 21 hours a semester and get
Oh,
an infant and commute an
Exactly.
hour one way?
what fun.
Oh, um, other than what I shared in our chat at the very last minute, does anybody have a happy story?
Yes, it's the Masters this week.
Yeah.
My favorite, the Masters.
Yeah. Have
And,
fun. Are you going to Pinehurst?
but I hope Rory wins again. It's between him and Scotty are the top two. So I hope Rory wins again.
Well,
Jason
Sam
Kelsey's
Darnold
going
got
to be
married
doing.
today.
What'd you
Jason
say?
Kelsey is commentating at Wednesdays. Tomorrow's
Oh,
event.
yeah. 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 At the practice. So yeah, I'm excited.
I hope you have fun.
Of-
Are
I,
you?
this year, here's my thing. If anybody is listening, I have been trying to get a ticket for years. So every year I fill it out, but I get to go to the PGA. But I've only went to the Masters once, and that was because of client or connection with it. So I would like to go back.
I don't know. I didn't think of this, but remind me in like December of next year. I have a connection who we can maybe get press passes through potentially. Um,
But that's my fun. It's the week. It's the Masters.
I don't
So come
know.
Thursday, I won't be talking to anybody.
Whatever. You'll talk to me.
I'll be in front of the TV watching all day.
Yeah. Candy, do you have any happy stories for this week other than your Frozen 4?
You know, I would. Did any of you watch the post game last night when the one player the one that's been hurt, that when he gave kudos to his mom and said, "I want to repay you and take care of you forever." Like, I just thought that was
Oh,
cool on national TV to do that.
All I could think of is
wow.
all I could think of is when if Colby were to say that, I would be a puddle on the floor.
Oh yeah. If
Mhm.
Jordan said that, I'd be like, yeah, yeah.
I mean, and it was really neat because he turned and said, "What would you like to tell your mom?" And it was almost like it was a random moment that he wasn't given a chance, didn't know that would be something that would be presented to him. And he paused, and then he had some emotion in his voice. Like,
Mhm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, she has done everything for me and she's taken care of me and she's been there for me. And all I want to do is do that for her, return the favor for the rest of my life.
Yep. That is so awesome.
And I sitting there, I was like, man,
Mhm.
yeah, I immediately went to my being a mom and thinking what kind of feeling that had to be for her.
Yeah. That would be my happy story, because I think in a day and age where we talk about all the negativity and everything like that, and the kids don't respect people and they don't respect parents, that just shows you that it still is there still is respect out there, and there's still kids that respect their parents and appreciate what they've been given, and
Off
Yeah.
to his mom because she did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Yeah. For him to say that on national TV, she did a great job. So hats off to her.
Absolutely.
That's my,
Absolutely.
that's my
Thank you for reminding me, Candy, because I was trying not to fall asleep by that time.
yeah.
Was it past your bedtime?
Yes.
And she's in Central, Dawn. Oh, you know that. Never mind. All
I
right.
know. I know. I'm just messing with her.
Well, yeah, no. We were already talking about how it's, oh, we can make it through this.
That's right. Different part of the game. Dawn and I were talking about barbecue. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. We were talking about barbecue.
I mean, it's
Because
close.
of course, you know, where I'm from is the best barbecue. So,
Absolutely, it is.
where you live now is the best barbecue. Thank you.
oh God, no.
Oh, girl, you haven't had any yet. We got to go on a road trip. Oh, yes, ma'am. We going on a road trip. Ask Megan. She'll
Carrie.
vouch.
Carrie, tell her Kansas City barbecue.
Mm-mm. It's good. I'm not denying that.
You cannot eat it.
Dawn, I'm taking you somewhere. We're going on a road trip.
You
Okay.
cannot eat Kansas City barbecue without being able to lick your fingers. That's just all I gotta say.
That's
It's
any
good stuff.
barbecue, boo-boo.
No,
Wait,
Kansas City.
As long as
No.
it's actually smoked.
I'm gonna tell you how in Kansas City, when my daughter was probably about 2 or 3, we were at Gates Barbecue. She took the little cup and was drinking the barbecue sauce. So you know
Amen.
when a child will drink the barbecue sauce, it's good.
Amen.
Or
Although
put
my
it on
first
white rice.
experience in Gates scared the crap out of me, and I walked back out the door. And then my friend goes, "No, I'll talk." And I'm like, "Okay."
All right,
For those that
ladies.
don't know, as you walk into Gates, I don't know if they still do it. Because it's
They
been a
still
while.
do. They still
You
do.
walk in the door and they scream at you, "Welcome to Gates," and you're like,
They actually scream and say, "Hi, may I help you?"
because
They've been,
like that day I
yeah.
walked in and I was like, "Holy crap!" And it was so loud and but man, I remember that food.
All right,
And
so
that
I
was
need you guys to call Gates since y'all give them a lot of free publicity. I'm not giving my spot free publicity and get them to give us some money.
We might be able to do
Ladies,
that.
so Candy does have to get, and I'm going to be a special guest tonight. We're on the South Florida Tribune. So
Fun.
please
Well,
check
good
us out in
luck.
about 28 and a half minutes. And we will see if y'all have any ideas or suggestions for us. Hit us up. You know us. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in 7.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.